Hey guys, what is going on? It is Tuesday. I don't even know what the date is anymore. 29th? Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. I think that's right. That's what we're running with. But out here, just got on a random spot at the towpath, just kind of north coming out of Massillon. So we got the river over there. Just kind of standing on this little bridge that connects. Just a little feeder here that kind of comes out of part of where the canal was at, and then like the overflow goes over here into the river behind me there. There we go. So you got a picnic table, place for your bikes, some tools for your bikes, air station. And then back out onto the trail. And the river is kind of, I don't know, good 100 feet, 150 feet away at this point. We got one of them weird little benches with the rocks that pop up every so now and again along the trail. Okay, so we're just about to the bridge, but I just wanted to show you guys real quick. So there's an old grist mill back there. So you can see that was just up the hill off of where the towpath, their canal used to be in the towpath. Like this would have been a towpath canal, and then the grist mill. Okay, so then we have the river over here, and we got this awesome ass bridge that we're gonna go check out there. Then across the street, we've got the Towpath Tavern. Right over there, and then like I said, the grist mill. So I think we're gonna check the bridge out. I don't know how much farther north I want to walk. There is a park entrance up there. I'm gonna go up there, I think, and use the bathroom, and then I think when I come back through, maybe we're gonna jump over across the street and check out that grist mill, because I've never checked the grist mill out before. So that'd be really awesome. Can't remember how far up you go to touch that parking lot. It's not far. All right, so let's get the camera turned around so we check this bridge out. Okay, so like I said, so this is only open for foot traffic and bike traffic now. So they do have some barricades up, and then in the center they've got big concrete, I don't know, what do you call them? Like they're on the freeways, like those A something. Yeah, just old metal, like trestle type bridge. And down there's like a drop-off area for kayaks and canoes. It's like both sides you can see there's kind of like a canoe livery drop-offs. I mean, they've even got dumpsters down in there, so really cool. The river's actually down a little bit from what it was earlier this week, over the weekend. But we are expecting some thunderstorms, so I'm sure that will definitely raise it back up. Yeah, just not even a whole lot of current at this point. Hey, we got basketball down there. Lots of trees from the earlier rains this spring up against this bridge. Like same thing over here. You can see where a lot of stuff just starts piling up against some of the leaners that are leaning over the bank. All right, then once you get over to this side, then you have the railroad tracks. You do have some path over here. So it's kind of like an alternate route. I've actually never like walked any of that. I know like a lot of people with like horses that this is what they'll do. Just come over to this side. So Old Muskingum Trail, 40 corners. So that goes down to 40 quarters where we just jumped on. And over here, horses use grass berm to the right. So yeah, so there's plenty of area for the horses to cut through. That's the 3-mile launch for Trailhead Canoe Livery in Canal Fulton. So they come down here and drop you off. Launch point 1 that way. So you jump in. So that would be Trailhead Canoe Livery. Yes, that would be like takes you all the way back to Lake Avenue then, I believe. So this is like where you jump in for the furthest. This could be the furthest point. I know they drop off right there by 40 corners. I haven't canoed in here for a long time. I should do that this year. Canoe or get a kayak. Come out here and get dropped off and go back to Massillon. So here we go, Crystal Springs Bridgeport. So this tells you everything about it. This got wiped out in the 1913 flood. So it had temporary bridge for a little while. And then 1914 is when they built the current bridge. The wood floor was replaced by iron grid in the 40s. And in 95, when the commissioners vacated this bridge to Jackson Township Historical Society, they assumed responsibility for this bridge in 96. This bridge and the road easement were formally dedicated as the Crystal Springs Bridge Park. Here we go. So we got this iron bridge that goes across to the parking lot. This has a wood deck on it. So this is the parking lot for Crystal Springs Park. And of course we've got our kiosk with trail information. We have our Crystal Springs, what used to be a little town, German Dutch immigrants in 1835. They had a post office at one point, Schuster Brewery. And you guys can kind of see what the canal looked like back in the 1830s. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, so I got a little bit of relief. Finally got to pee. Okay, so over there is where the towpath trail goes through. You can kind of see that light spot where you can see the limestone. Okay, well, there's another trail that comes off this parking lot, and there's like some signage here and there. So now I kind of want to check this out. I've never checked this out before. It's kind of weird because I know I've parked here before and jumped on the trail, but I've never checked any of this out. So I think we're going to save the grist mill for another day because I got a feeling I can make a grist mill into the entire video. So let's get the camera turned around and check out some of the signage that's along this path. All right, so Crystal Springs, Old US Route 21, Great Lakes to the Atlantic Highway or the Lakes to Florida Highway. So Metropolitan Canton block. Very cool. And there's actually some of that brick is still out here. So that was all made kind of somewhat locally over in Canton, which is, you know, a 10-minute drive. Then you guys can see here, Ohio US 21, West Virginia 21, Virginia, North Carolina, all the way into South Carolina. So now you can't do that. You can take 77, which really 77 doesn't run far off of where like 21 splits off and combines back into 77 at a couple different points in Ohio. So this must have been part of like one of the old bridge structures. All right, so let's head down this path and see what else we can find. All right, so rest area for weary travelers. So the increase in travelers from north to south sparked the need for a good night's rest, inspiring George Mole to build the Park Motel in 1944. So that must have sat like right here in this area. I mean, obviously, or we wouldn't have this sign here. All right, so we do have some concrete. So it must have sat like right over in this area, because this is all very swampy down through there. And we have more of that brick down through there that led into this area. And I see more of that brick up ahead. So I'm thinking this must be like the end. So really this wasn't like a very long path then. But I did learn some history that I didn't know about, and that was with this motel back here, and that the old US 21 come through here. As you can see, it disappears as it hits this tree line. And actually you can see there's some residential homes past that. Oh, you know what? There is a path. All right. I'm willing to bet that goes over and connects onto the towpath. Or it doesn't. So trail continues to the left, no towpath access. That's fine. We're going to check this out. All right, very cool. I'm kind of glad I did this. So, I see what's going on here. So this splits right here. You can go left down here, or we can go to the right. So let's just stay to the right. But this is just some little teeny tiny, okay, it does go further back. I thought it was just gonna be a real tiny little loop. It's like, what's the point? But okay, so this is gonna be worth hiking then. I'm kind of excited, guys. This is, can't believe I've never checked any of this out before. This is like right up my alley. A lot of old stone laying back here, man-made stone that was probably part of that hotel or something else at some point. I do like how that sign said no trail access, because I'm sure a lot of other people thought like I did and probably assumed that this cut around and tied into the towpath. It would be nice if it did, though. You'd have to have another bridge to get over the old canal, but yeah, it would be nice. All right, so we're starting to curve back around. So it's not a very long trail, but it is still pretty cool. Okay, so really it would not take much, because through that clearing over there, I can see limestone like straight ahead, like right there where my finger's at is limestone. That's the towpath. So it wouldn't take much, even if they just built some boardwalk. I don't know how bad this floods when it rains, but it wouldn't take much to tie this in with where we're at right now. Yeah, so this is gonna loop right back around. So this wasn't even like a quarter of a mile. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so it was a small loop, but it was bigger than what I initially thought it was gonna be, but yeah, we did that in what, like a minute and change. All right, so we got just a little cutout right here where there's a bench. And then like right up here, it cuts back into the other part of the trail, or like the entrance to this trail. Ooh, I'm starting to hear some thunder. That's not a good thing, because I am probably a mile and a half or so from my truck. So hopefully that storm it's going west to east and saying north. So as I'm going south, it won't be an issue. All right, so here we are. We are back out on that brick area. This was probably all restored. This doesn't look like this was original. Not judging, or not by like looking at the rest of it. Kind of switch hands here. All right, I'm going to turn the camera back around just so you guys can see this shot going back out. All right. So I'm going to apologize in advance because I got a feeling this video is going to be a long one today. But we did cover a lot of ground. Mikey really did hike it today. All right, so yeah, so here we are. We're back to the parking lot. Okay, so heading back across the bridge, back over to the towpath. I think that's where we're going to end this video today, so I can make up some ground and get back south and get back to my vehicle. I think I'm going to do a radar check real quick too before I do that. Here, let's switch the camera around. There we go. So now we got the riverside and not parking lot. But anyways, as usual, please leave me a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I learned something today too, and that's kind of the point of some of these adventures. Not just to go out and show you guys stuff that I already knew about, was to go out and learn about some things together. But we're gonna wrap this up until tomorrow's video. We'll see you later.